Patriot Act wasn't patriotic. No Child Left Behind Act leaves tens of millions of children behind. The Affordable Care Act makes care more expensive and creates monopolies. In unrelated news, government just passed the Inflation Reduction Act. What do you think that's going to do? The government always makes things worse because there isn't skin in the game. Now, you got to do a deep dive into this stuff. You have to understand economics, political science. You have to understand the history of communism and Marxism and all these ideas that sound great when you talk about them, but in practice are terrible because of human nature, because of no checks and balances. But the very simple reason that the state doesn't work, that government doesn't work, is because when you give somebody, and this is an example, you give somebody money and you say spend it, and then they go and spend it. It's not their money, and however they spend it matters not. There's no checks and balances. It doesn't really matter if the bill works or doesn't work. It doesn't matter where the money goes or doesn't go. There's very little insight. A lot of it gets swept into people's pockets and other things like that. There is no repercussion. This is what the skin in the game concept is, right? This is why investors, if they're going to give you money in your company, they want to let you put some of your own money in. They don't want you just gambling with their own money. I mean, gambling, entrepreneurship, whatever, taking risks. If you have skin in the game, you're going to take it more seriously. You're going to be more careful with every decision, with every penny you spend. If you just take money from people through this bureaucratic process known as tax collection, and then you have this account with money and you have to spend it, it's like your prerogative to spend it, you don't care all that much what you do with it. And if you can use it in a way to spend it to support this program or to like this lobbyist or whatever, if you can do it in a way that benefits you so that you stay in your position of power longer or get other positions of power or raise up or whatever, you're going to spend the money that way as well. So you see, the entire system is flawed. You give people money to spend, they don't have to earn it, and it doesn't matter how they spend it. Then they have the prerogative and the ability to spend it in ways that benefit them, especially because the process is very muddy and not very tracked, so they can get away with it pretty easily. And then that's what you have with the state, with politics. You have bureaucrats that have absolutely no skin in the game. They a lot of times have their position for a certain amount of years. While they're in power, they get rich because they do all these backroom deals and etc. They use your and my money and they spend it in a way that benefits them. And then they come out rich. Like Liz Cheney literally made like $37 million for 4 years in Congress. What? 37? What? The state makes things worse because there is not skin in the game, because bureaucrats are doling out the money, making the decisions, whatever. And there's a very loose democratic process of checks and balances that takes a very long time to play out, after which the damage is already done.